Deep Dive, the 23rd episode of the 3rd season of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Holy crap, what a fantastic episode. This episode brought together so many elements of so many different plot threads that we've been getting throughout the recent part of Season 3. It acts as a sort of culmination of the whole dream travel plot that Star has been dealing with recently, but leaves just enough threads unresolved and introduces just enough new threads that it manages to be satisfying and also leave the viewer wanting more simultaneously. Now that Star knows that she's been leaving portals open everywhere that she goes, now that there is some tangible danger, some tangible consequences to her making these journeys in her sleep, she figures it's about time to do something about it. I do want to point out that this is exactly what I was hoping she would do. It was pretty obvious that this situation was going to escalate from the moment that it was introduced. It was my hope that once it did, Star would have the presence of mind to deal with it and prevent it from escalating even further. And that is exactly what she does here. While she's been dream portaling, she's noticed that she seems to be, in her dreams, at least lately, chasing a sort of high-pitched noise. Looking at the map that Hecapoo gave to her and Marco at the end of the previous episode, they see that she portals to basically the same locations every single night. There's a pattern to it, suggesting that while she is dream portaling, while the logical assumption would be that the sound exists in her dreams, it's at least real enough that it is attempting to lead her to an actual tangible place. The problem is she always runs out of time, returns to her room, and wakes up before she can complete the journey. So she enlists the help of Marco and Jennah. Marco to be her lifeline, to use his dimensional scissors to come and rescue her if things get bad, and Jennah to hypnotize her into a deep sleep so that she can make the entire journey uninterrupted. She rigs up her compact mirror so that they can see what she sees through the larger mirror on her wall. Jennah hypnotizes her because, of course, Jennah knows how to hypnotize people. She just continues to be the best thing about this show. And Star is off. For a while she is traceable, but eventually she goes so far that she's no longer on the map. They have no way of knowing where she is, which means, incidentally, that Marco can't portal to her either. She finds a large purple portal in the middle of nowhere, which takes her back to the realm of magic, the dimension that she visited back when she was absorbed by Toffee. She learns that the unicorn that she created to purify that dimension has grown to adulthood, and it's what's been calling her. Additional unicorns seem to have spawned, I guess, and are likewise growing to maturity, and they all seem to know Star. They want to spend time with Star and claim that the only way they could have called her to this place in the first place is if some part of her wanted to return here anyway. This has interesting implications. The suggestion here is that Star, even before she purified this place, had some kind of connection to it. That Star has a greater connection to magic itself than a typical Mumin, even a typical member of the Mumin royal family. And that when she did the impossible and purified this place, the connection grew stronger or became more real. Her first instinct is to go home, but the allure of this place is too strong, and she decides to stay, at least for a while. Back on Muni, Marco is panicking, trying to figure out how to reach her and bring her home. He can no longer see what she's seeing. He doesn't know that she's in a place that's safe, the inhabitants of which don't seem to have any malicious intentions towards her. The only thing on his mind is making sure that she's safe by bringing her back to his side. And his instincts were right, because despite the fact that the realm of magic isn't actually dangerous to her in a physical sense, remaining there seems to sap away her memories. In just a very short time, she's already forgotten what her name is, and refers to Marco when she first sees him again as a stranger. Thankfully, Marco does manage to bring her home, in a way, and the way he goes about it is certainly very interesting. Now, full disclosure, I kind of expected this to happen. Like, not this specifically, not this specific scenario, but something similar to it. Marco, left with no other options to try to reach Star, recalls the all-seeing eye spell, the spell that lets you spy on someone from a great distance. The problem is, in order to use that spell, he has to have a wand. Because Star has been using the magic of her butterfly form to sleep portal around, she hasn't been taking her wand with her. That means it's still there in her room, and that means I'm left wondering if this moment was shocking to viewers of the show when it first aired. In my case, at least, while some of it surprised me, the fact that Marco was able to use the wand I didn't find surprising at all. We already know that it's not just the Mewman royal family that can do magic. Ludo can do magic. That was his entire motivation throughout the entirety of Season 1, to get Star's wand so that he could use it to perform magic. Lobster Claws, when he got his hand on Star's wand, was able to use it to do magic. It's not surprising to me at all that Marco can use the wand to do magic. What's interesting about all of this is that when he uses the wand, while it does change form to suit him just like it did for Star when she first got it from her mother, the original wand at least, and just like the original wand did for Lobster Claws when he temporarily possessed it. But it doesn't feed back on Marco and corrupt him the way that Lobster Claws was corrupted, or even anything similar. No hidden aspects of his personality, no true nature of himself was drawn out and amplified, unless it was. Marco doesn't seem to change in terms of his physicality or his personality, but something does happen. When he uses the wand, glowing symbols appear on his cheeks, just like the symbols that Star has, just like the symbols that all of her ancestors have. This means one of two things. Either the wand was drawing out something of Marco's true nature, and something of his true nature is Mewman. Or we saw in Marco the very start of the process which turned the Mewman royal family into the state that we see them in today. Something had to have happened to them initially to change them into what we know them to be. They are humanoid creatures, and yet they have these insectoid forms. They have these symbols on their cheeks that even other Mewmans don't share. Couple that with the fact that it's the queens and their heirs who use magic, who bear the wand, that it is seemingly forbidden for anyone else to do so. And that says to me that it's magic which made them what they are today, which altered them into the state in which they are today. This means that by using magic, being a humanoid thing like the Mewmans, Marco has taken the first step toward becoming like the Mewman royal family. The first step toward altering himself the same way that they've been altered. I have no idea what the implications of this are going to be long term, but it's super interesting, regardless of which way you look at it. I'm also really super interested to see what Eclipsa thinks of all of this. I'm assuming we're going to get her view on all of this eventually. The episode ends with Marco talking to Star through the All-Seeing Eye spell the same way that she talked to Glossaric through it once before. She doesn't remember him at first, but then he touches the All-Seeing Eye and is hurt by it, and suddenly she is snapped back to her senses, is able to turn back into her golden butterfly form intentionally and use the power of that form to return home. She finds Marco to be okay, gets the wand back from it, turns back to normal, and now, either because she spent so much time in the realm of magic, or because she was spurred to using the form intentionally to save Marco, or some combination of the two, she has complete control over the form. Instantaneously, despite the fact that her mother said that doing such a thing would require lengthy practice. And while it does kind of annoy me anytime a character is just handed power like that, I would also argue that she hasn't been handed power just like that. She went through a lot to get it. And the fact that she got control of this power so quickly supports the idea that she has this extra connection to magic. It's all super interesting. I would say overall this was probably the single most intriguing episode of this show so far. I absolutely loved it. I do a theory about it, but honestly everything that I would say in a theory video about this episode I already said in this review, so you'll just have to be satisfied with that, unless I think of more stuff to say. We'll see. All of that said, loved the episode. I'm actually going to go rewatch it right now. I liked it that much. But as per usual, guys, I'd like to know, what did you think of this episode if you have seen it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below or over on my Discord. Link in the description. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.